Amazing to see you all. My name is Blake Rasmussen. I'm going to be one of your co-hosts today. I have the best job on the planet because I get to just talk to you all about magic now and then.
Hi y'all, I'm Lurwin Eclipse. I'm a game producer for Magic. This is my first time on this stage. I'm really nervous. I usually work with Blake behind the scenes. People see me as kind of a bridge between what happens at Wizards and what you hear as players.
So today, you were in the right place because every year, about this time, we like to get a few thousand of our friends together and talk about what's coming up in the next year. So we are going to look at almost all of 2026, pretty darn close. And we are going to start off with a big one. We are going to start off with a first look, preview cards, art, story at Lurwin Eclipse. Let's hear it from the Lorwin fans out there. It's been a minute since we've been to Lorwin. A lot's changed, so we're going to learn a lot about that. But we're going to go through, again, almost the entire year. We're going to announce some sets that we have not announced before. And, as a bonus, we're not quite done with Final Fantasy yet. There's going to be a little bit at the end there for that. But first, before we get to that, we want to take a moment. 2025 really has been the best Magic ever. We want to take a moment to celebrate that.
Absolutely. This year was incredible. Since we returned to play, millions of players, including more new players than ever before, have joined us in local game stores to gather and play Magic. And WPN stores now cover 84 countries worldwide.
Yeah.
So, like you said, 2025 might just be Magic's best year ever, but we're going to try and top it.
We are going to try. We are going to kick things off in January with Lurwin Eclipse. So to dive into our first look, we are going to bring to the stage Roy Graham. Come on, Roy. Woo. Welcome, Roy. All right. Just sit down.
Yeah.
We're going to get cozy. Yeah, Roy.
Hey, everybody. You excited about Lorwin?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so like they said, I'm Roy Graham. I'm the Magic Story Lead. I work with some really incredible fantasy authors to bring these stories to life in the free web fiction we release with every set. And I work with game design to bring those stories into the cards and see them realized in the sets themselves. People have been asking for a return to Lorwin for a long time. Almost since the plane debuted, if you can believe that, a short, over a decade.
You're making me a little bit old.
Something like that.
And if you're a fan of Lorwin, if you've been waiting all this time to go back, congratulations. If you're maybe newer to the plane, if you're curious about Lorwin, I'm very happy to be the one to bring you through it and tell you a little bit about it. Lorwin is a whimsical plane inspired by Celtic mythology and populated by creatures as recognizable as elves and giants and things like that. And then we have some creatures that are a little less recognizable. Noggles. Any Noggles fans?
So many questions.
Yeah, a couple of them. But it's more than just weirdos and Golden Gates on Lorwin. Lorwin is also a plane divided between two halves, light and shadow. So it's been a long time, obviously, since we went to Lorwin. And we're bringing back some familiar faces from the story and in the card set. Let's see if you guys recognize any of them. Here, I think we can show you Sig, one of the Marrow. Any minute now. There it is! Yes, Sid is one of the aquatic Marrow, Lorwin's answer to Merfolk. We also have Ashling.
Thank you.
Who is one of the Flamekin, sentient fire elementals. Bridget, one of the hardy and community-minded Tifkin. And, though she's never gotten a card before, her sayings have been known Flavor Text, Boggarts, all across Lorwin, Auntie Grub making her debut in Lurwin Eclipse. Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. Last time we were on Lorwin, a few of these people that we've been seeing.
You're welcome, guys.
Stopped the power-hungry fairy queen Una, who was trying to control the Aurora, a mysterious force that separated Lorwin from its shadowy counterpart, Shadowmourn. She wanted to keep those sides separate, divided, and unknown to each other. But Una's been gone for a long time now, and that means Lorwin's true nature is beginning to reassert itself. One of the big, very exciting new changes to the cosmology of the plane is the emergence of two fast elementals, one for night and one for day, that bring the light or darkness of Shadowmourn with them wherever they walk. And I think I get to show you some pretty cool art of one of them. There we have Airdew, the day elemental, who brings the light of Lorwin with him wherever it walks.
So you're mentioning that this plane has like two sides now, these two sides that are coming to life. What can you tell us about the dark side? Talk to us about Shadowmourn.
The dark side, you say. Well, do we have something happening to the lights up there?
It's looking a little...
Yeah,
It's a little darker.
does anyone feel their darker parts beginning to stir within them?
Not everything is light and airy, as we see on the screen.
So Shadowmourn is the more twisted, shadowy half of the plane. There, the trees become gnarled and kind of spooky and grasping, and thorns emerge from the foliage, and kind of general gloom settles over the landscape. But it's not just the landscape that changes in Shadowmourn, it's also the people. You might be a completely different person going into Shadowmourn than you were in Lorwin. Now, in the past, in the original Lorwin, the whole world used to change. The Aurora would move the plane itself from Lorwin to Shadowmourn. That's not the case in our new return to Lorwin. Now they coexist. They live side by side. Big.
I think our next piece of art is exactly that.
Oh yeah, right there. The two halves of Lorwin and Shadowmourn, the light and the dark, coexisting, pushing right up against each other. And if you cross that barrier, if you walk into one or the other, you might not know who you are on the other side.
Now I think we've gone long enough about it. Who wants the first greeting card? Okay, that was good enough for now. All right, let's see our first greeting card, Morning Tide's Light. All right, Roy, what's going on here?
Well, this might on the surface look familiar, right? It's a flicker. Nothing crazy about that. You're exiling a whole bunch of cards, and you're bringing them all back. But there's actually a neat little narrative thrust here as well, because when you exile a card, you flicker it and bring it back. If it happens to be double-sided, for instance, maybe, for instance, there are two sides of a card showing some core duality of the character, a light side maybe, and a dark side. This would return it to the original side.
Oh, interesting. Now I think it feels like we're getting a little bit to mechanics, which means I think we're going to need some help. So Roy, we're going to come bring you back there. Go stand over there. And let's bring on Mark Rosewater.
Thank you so much, Mark. You're clearly the legacy here. Tell us what you did on Lurwin Eclipse.
So I actually had the honor of working on both the original Lorwin and on Lurwin Eclipse. I think I'm the only person that was on both design teams. So I was very excited to go back. I remember working on original Lorwin, and it was a really fun set to do originally, and it was just really exciting to go back. So.
Well, we're gonna, we started to get to mechanics.
Yes.
I really want to.
We do have mechanics.
We do have mechanics, yes. And one of those we're gonna talk about double face cards.
Okay.
And as you start talking about that, let's book we already saw Airdo. While you're talking about it, let's meet the carrier of Twilight. This is the card. We'll get to the card in a moment.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about double face cards.
So one of the things, last time we were there, many years ago, Lorwin and Shadowmoor didn't coexist. Either it was Lorwin or it was Shadowmoor. And after Una and all the things that happened, it's now in a place where things are mixed. And that light and dark, shadow and light, they can intermix in ways they never could before. So if only we had mechanics that can represent things that can go from a light side to a dark side. And luckily we do. So double-face cards were perfect. Transforming double-face cards. So you play the front side, it can transform into the back side, and then go back and forth. You're the Lorwin version, you're the Shadowmoor version. You're the Lorwin version, you go back and forth.
Let's take a look at our first preview cards of the light and dark sides. Tell us, this is a different way to transform, Mark, than we've seen before.
Well, I mean, the idea here is you have control in a way that you don't normally have in a lot of transforming. This is a mana cost. And then you'll notice the cards are different colors and different sides. So one of the things you'll notice as we'll go through today is this is both mechanically Lorwin and mechanically Shadowmoor. So you will see elements of Lorwin here, you will see elements of Shadowmoor. The fact that there are different colors on that is important because Shadowmoor cares a lot about color. Lorwin cares more about tangled themes. And so you'll see that as they change between the sides, it matters. And you have the ability on these cards to pay mana to choose when you go back and forth.
Now, we didn't show you the art early on in the presentation without knowing how it was going to pay off. So let's take a look at the dark side of Satan. And of course, it's a purple. Look, we're going to show you both sides. Let's see the card for Sig as well. Mark, tell us about this one.
So obviously, one of the things we're doing is revisiting characters that people know from original Lorwin. Oh, and I also want to stress, one of the things we did on the art side is we went back, there's a lot of artists you will recognize, and even some of the newer artists, there's an older style to Lorwin. So Lorwin and Shadowmoor, we want to capture the original look and feel, one of the things people loved about original Lorwin, so we do that here. You'll also notice the back, we're playing with different kinds of frames, and the back here are, it's really fun to watch, trying to show the Lorwin side and the Shadowmoor side. And really the set is, this has Merfolk. Obviously, all the creature types that you recognize from Lorwin are back. Some are a little more focused than others, but if you like to play types of themes, you got you covered. If that's not your thing, well, half the set's about Shadowmoor, and we got that covered as well.
I knew this was going to find its way into Merfolk deck. Let's take a look at Ashling and the Shadowmoor side. Absolutely. I love how fraught this is. Take a look at the card now too. I want to see both sides. Oh yeah, I love how you just see her joy and her torment and that color wash mana. Talk to me about this.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that are going around is, now, I should stress, the double-face cards are a small portion of the set. It's not, he actually joked what if the entire set was double-face cards? That's a horrible idea. But one of the things we definitely see is they play a big role, and these are the key characters, so that the double-face cards are kind of special. Most of the set actually is a double-face card, but we will have a lot of, like I said, a lot of type of themes. Elementals are back, Merfolk are back, Mythic are back, all the things you recognize from original Lorwin. And we also play in color. We haven't got to it yet, but Hybrid is back.
All right, we showed you 5 characters at the top. We're not going to show you all of their cards. We're going to say a little something from the previous season, but we would be remiss if we didn't show you the Shadowmoor cards. So let's take a look at the Shadowmoor side of the equation.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at my favorite rub. So cute. And I love too, we've got Jesper Icing back from the original Lorwin as well for this artwork.
Yeah, speaking of original artists, this set is chock full of original artists, and some of that we're going to see on some cards. You know, Lorwin is also, the set is very much a love letter to love the original Lorwin Warring Tide as well. So we're going to see a lot of callbacks, like one we showed to our Black Lotus badge holders last night. Let's see Error.
Okay, so the story behind it, so way back, I think in Apocalypse, I made a card called Phyrexian Arena. The idea was we had made a lot of cards for Black Shielded Life of cards. So I thought, what is going to happen every turn? What if every turn we lost a life to a card? So when we were making original Lorwin, we're like, okay, can I do that? But I wanted to make like a fairy version of it. So like, what else can you pay life for? How about a fairy? And so it made a little 1/1 fairy, 5 fairy. And obviously, one of the things we're trying to do, not all the cards.
Give me a second, guys.
And so this is playing homage to Bitter Blossom. Except this time, it's on a fairy rather than being a stick.
That's not going to be the only version we see of this card either.
So this is our headliner for this set.
Yeah. I absolutely love this Rebecca Gay artwork. There's only 500 versions of this card that exist. Rebecca is actually one of our artists in Art of Magic this weekend too, so make sure you go say hi.
Yeah, it's your first time episode in 20 years, I think.
Yeah, it's your original Bitter Blossom sign. All right, now there's more throwbacks, and this is going to be my favorite section right here. Let me hear it. Are there any Muldrifter fans in the audience? How about the Shriekmaw? Reveler, Whisper, get where I'm going. So Lorwin was the original set of the Evoke Elementals. And this set very much evokes that same feeling. Let's see our preview card here, Emptiness.
So the history of Evoke. So when I made Evoke originally, way back in Lorwin, they originally went on spells, and you could kick them to turn them into creatures. And then the Wolf Master said, you can't do that. It doesn't work. So we ended up making creatures that you know, you can take Evoke on things and they go away. So Evoke is very popular. We're not going to come back and not visit a lot of our popular things. So this obviously plays into that. We have Evoke on it. As I said earlier, Hybrid is back. Any Hybrid fans out there? So obviously, for those that are fans of original Scattermore, it was half Hybrid. Now, this set is not half Hybrid. But there is a Hybrid in it. And like I said, color plays a big role in this set. So.
Let's get some more callbacks up here. I love this little guy.
So in Lorwin, it's easy to way into Lorwin design. We were having a problem where people were grabbing particular things and they weren't sort of fighting over cards. And so we needed some kind of glue to tie things together. So I made a card called Misform Ultimates many years ago. And so I took that idea and we turned it into a mechanic called Changeling. And then we made these cute little green mold creatures, yellow mold creatures. And so anyway, we can't come back to Lorwin without coming back to Changeling. Like I said, creature type package is going to be a big important thing, but creature types don't matter, we need some Changeling. So obviously, we're back to have Changeling. And this card also makes reference to another very famous Lorwin card, Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, by the way, the cards aren't all mechanical throwbacks.
They're not. We picked them out. It feels good. It feels nostalgic. It feels like I'm 13 years old again. That doesn't date me at all. Let's take a look at our next throwback, which we had a figure of Destiny back then. Now a figure of Fable.
Okay, so the original figure of Destiny, there's a man named Brian Kinsman, a good friend of mine who's a designer for Magic. He really loved exploring the idea of creatures changing over time. He made the level up mechanic, by the way. And so he made a card, and the idea was, oh, well, you can pay different activations, and it slowly changes, and it gets creature types, and slowly evolves. It's like it goes on a cool mystery adventure and becomes something. And we used that, there's a lot of other cards we made over time. It's a very popular card, so we couldn't come back and do a rip on it. So we get this figure of Fable.
I think we've got, let's see, another callback. We do love nostalgia. It's true. It's not all callbacks. We do promise, but we have mentioned that elementals matter.
Okay, so the original Lorwin, the lead designer of it, was a man named Aaron Forsythe, who's now my boss. Aaron loves modal spells. So in the early days, like Mirage introduced charms. So Aaron wanted to take charms to the next level. So he said, what's better than 3? 4. What's better than 1? 2. So he obviously gives 4 things to get it used to.
Well, he's your boss now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's in command. So we introduced it, Lorwin introduced the command. So obviously we were back. And so we brought back the commands or sub-commands. A couple other things about this card. You'll notice on the creature type line, it says Kindred. So one of the things introduced in Lorwin was at the time called the tribal card type, now it's called Kindred. We're not doing a lot of Kindred. It is not something we plan to do a lot of, but you couldn't come back to Lorwin and not just have a little bit. So there is some Kindred in the set. And you'll notice that one of the options is Charisma Elemental. Just to reinforce, typo is the theme of the set. About half the set, about half the craft archetypes have a typo component. They're the shadow half, and half have other components, but they're the Lorwin half and then the shadow. A lot going on.
I think I want to take a look at some booster fun treatment.
I think so too. What do we have first?
Oh yeah. I love this. So this is called the Fable frame. And I love how like kind of creepy and dark it is a little bit. I think we got another card in the same
Fable frame.
So stinking cute. The sides kind of look like almost like bedding, like you would find in Lorwin, and like maybe you fall down and go to sleep and maybe you wake up, maybe you don't. Who knows?
Go to sleep with Lorwin.
And of course, one of the really cool things about bringing a set like this back is our art, and the way that we do all of this has really expanded and grown, and so we get to see just this artwork like bring to life this plane in a whole new way. I love it.
And speaking of booster fun, we have another really cool addition to the set that plays up light and dark. You see the art earlier. So these are double-sided. They're not double-faced. You can play either side. It's the same card, but you can pick if you want to represent a Lurwin, Shadowmark. Very cool. Take pictures. Post on social media. These are. Yes, there are normal versions of these as well, but these are, pretty cool. Alright, then, art.
You said it's front and back?
Yeah, but that's just for the special treatment.
Same card front and back though?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they're asking me if those are duals. They're not duals, they're front and back. Okay.
But they're going to be regular versions.
Of course,
We've
yeah.
got our normal suite of products with Lorwin. Honestly, we've had so much incredible artwork to show you that we decided to do 3 different versions of the Play Booster packaging art just to show off as much as humanly possible. Yeah. You'll also probably notice there's a new product on this slide. We are very excited to be introducing Draft Night with Lurwin Eclipse. So, drafting has honestly, it's always been one of the purest ways to experience Magic, I feel like. It's that perfect mix of skill, creativity, chance. But we know that sometimes getting 8 people together can be a little arduous. So this is where Draft Night comes in. It's the quickest and easiest way to play a draft. Everything you need for a 4-player pick 2 draft. So picking 2 cards at a time keeps the pace up, makes it way easier, especially if you're playing with somebody who's a little newer, or if you're like me, I have choice paralysis. I want to pick 2 cards anyway. And this simple fast drafting just makes it really easy. We all know you've got 4-player commander pods. So, one friend brings the pizza, one grabs drinks, one hosts. Even if you're not drafting that night, it's honestly the best way to experience the set because you're going to be getting play boosters, a collector booster, and a whole brick of lands, all for less than $100. Now, don't worry.
Hey everyone, welcome in.
It's designed for that classic 8-player draft experience, but we've also curated it for a 4-player draft experience. So you can expect to see this coming with every Magic release moving forward.
Exciting, really cool new product. Now, your eyes probably zoomed to that bottom center spot where there are 2 commander decks for this set. We've got Lorwin, we've got Shadowmoor. It just fit. So we've got a Lorwin focused one called Dance of the Elements. It's an elemental focused deck that is all 5 colors. Does it have Muldrifter in it? Maybe.
Yes, Jackson.
And then on the right next to it, we've got Blight Curse, our Shadowmoor deck, that has a unique theme that I don't think we've ever done before, that is focused on -1/-1 counters. Putting them on, taking them off, with all sorts of things mean to your opponents and your own creatures.
Absolutely. You'll also notice the beautiful collector booster packaging, I'm sure. If you're like me, you're a magpie just looking for like those shiny objects, this is going to be what you want for all those foils, those beautiful cards, and that chance of that Rebecca Gay headliner card.
Yeah. Now, before we leave Lorwin, I want to know how many in the audience are D&D fans as well? Sizable overlap. That's why we did this. So, next up, we have Lorwin First Light. So, soon, fans will be able to weave Lorwin into their Dungeons and Dragons adventure. So, Lorwin First Light, you see some art here, is going to be a digital expansion. It's going to be available on D&D Beyond. It's going to contain a new adventure. It's going to contain Lorwin and Shadowmoor specific magic items and monsters. It has a brand new Rhinekin species and more. So you'll be able to run your own campaign on Lorwin and Shadowmoor. Lorwin First Light arrives on D&D Beyond on November 25th this year. And we're sticking with the Lorwin time frame for our next item. It's not Lorwin flavored, but it's going to release alongside Lorwin. We have a new product called Theme Decks. So these are 60-card theme decks, reconstructed, ready to play right out of the box.
There's your 60-card decks.
Fast and fun and playable, and they're meant to introduce players to the world of 60-card constructed. They'll be standard legal. We are going to do these releases along Magic Multiverse sets, so expect more of these throughout the year. Our first 2, as you can see, Pirates and Angels. Pretty cool, resonant themes. The decks are meant to play well against each other, and decks will release later in this series. They even come with info on tips on how to upgrade them as you kind of go along your player journey. These are new. They're going to have an MSRP of $23.99.
Man, I need to invest in a tripod.
Now, you did mention that we're not going to give everything away in this panel.
Why?
Yeah, so in March of 2026, there is an unannounced Universes Beyond set. You'll want to keep an eye open at New York Comic Con on October 10th for that announcement.
Yep.
I will be there announcing that. So follow me there.
Oh, come on.
And you know what? That's the last one we're going to do that about. The rest of the year, we're going to tell you everything we can. So
there's one Universes Beyond set not being announced.
Our next set on the calendar, we're going to keep going chronologically. Let's move on to learn some of the secrets of Strixhaven.
I'm back, they couldn't keep me out.
Welcome back. All right.
I heard some excited shouts for Strixhaven.
Honestly, yeah. All right, so what secrets can you tell us about
Oh
Strixhaven?
man, what can't I tell you about Strixhaven? Strixhaven is obviously a fan favorite plane. Listen to them, right?
Yeah.
It's also a Roy favorite plane. I love Strixhaven. I was so excited when I found out that they got the return. And I'm really excited about the creative theme that we brought to this set. Something that we talked a lot about in early world building and crafting the story was this idea of like the step right after college, where you're not quite like a full adult, but you're not a student anymore either. You have to navigate and figure out that in-between space. So for Secrets of Strixhaven, we are taking a step outside of the campus of Strixhaven itself and seeing a bit of the wider world of Arcadios. And our characters that you may have loved last time, characters like Killian and Nina and Marutha, they're all trying to navigate that step, that moment where they're leaving the halls of Strixhaven and trying to figure out what to do with themselves now, how to use the skills that they've been developing, the natural ability they've been practicing. But obviously, this is Magic the Gathering, so those skills aren't like port yourself in an office environment. They're maybe like broker a magically minded peace treaty with the precise word magic of someone else, for instance. So the characters we met last time, they will be returning, and we have some new characters also, just arriving in their college of choice, just deciding what disciplines they want to study magically. Obviously, this is still a Strixhaven set, even though we are going a little outside of the college this time. I can't tell you a ton about these characters yet, but you're going to love them, and you might see them a little sooner than you expect.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Roy, I also hear that there's a novel set in Strixhaven.
Yep, that is correct. I am so excited to announce the first Magic the Gathering novel in. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Omens of Chaos is a YA novel set in Strixhaven by frequent Magic author Seanan McGuire about Strixhaven's first ever class of interplanar students who have arrived at the university by Omen Path. Will they fit in? Will they pass their classes? Will they survive? You'll have to find out on February 17th, right around the corner. And I should say also that, like the Untold Stories comic series that we're doing with Dark Horse, this novel is completely within canon. And it's a really great place to start, both if you are a long-time Magic fan, if you've been reading the story for a long time, and if you're maybe less than totally bought into all the story, this is a really good place to start.
And this is going to be in addition to the normal web fiction that we do as well.
Yes, that's right. We will, of course, have a full suite of web fiction stories for Secrets of Strixhaven. This is just coming out cherry on top.
Bonus.
I mean, speaking of cherries on top, if you weren't excited for the book enough, we are releasing a promo card with it as well.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't need a command tower?
I love seeing new artwork in an old frame. So good. Thank you so much, Roy.
Thanks. We're gonna send you off again, and because we've got. Hi, Roy. We're gonna keep moving through the year, Hillary.
Absolutely. We're going deeper into 2026. We are going to be announcing the next Marvel set. In June 2026, we are announcing Marvel Superheroes.
And of course, we need to bring Mark Rosewater back on.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this monumental set.
Okay, so many years ago, when Aaron Forsythe first pitched the idea of Universe Beyond, he called into his office, he made a little slideshow, he was going to show off, and I was one of the first people he showed it to. And he said to me, "What do you think?" And the literal first words out of my mouth was dibs on Marvel. So finally my dibs come true. So I led this set. I hand off to Dave Humphries. He and I worked together on some sets coming out of the End Dynasty, War of the Spark, Hearts of Machine. So we were really, really excited. So one of the things is we realized that we probably couldn't just base every single set on one character. It's something we can do for, that take forever. There's so many characters in Marvel. So we wanted to do a lot of characters. So if you see anybody on the screen right now, all of them are in the set. So, and I want to remind everybody, if you look at Ticket's Marble and her giant fist, it's a little sign that we are doing the comic book versions of these characters. And so, her powers, for example, are slightly different on the TV shows and movies than they are in the comics. We are representing the comic version. But we are well aware of the popularity of the movies and the TV shows and stuff, and we very much in choosing characters and picking what we're doing, even though we're always taking with the comics, we are aware of characters that are beloved because they show up in other media. We're very conscious of that. So do you want to talk a little bit about who is in this set? Okay, well first and foremost, there's this little team of superheroes that you might have never heard of, but I'm a big fan of them. As a real hardcore Marvel fan, they're called the Avengers. We get Captain America. We get Iron Man. Black Panther. And I do want to say, we're doing the full, there's lots of Avengers. All the Avengers you know, obviously from the movies and such, but also from the comics. There are a lot of people that have been in the Avengers over the years. We hit a lot of those in the set. And not just the heroes, we also have the super villains. Such as the and when I think they're super villains, we got a whole bunch of super villains. Now, while the set doesn't have the Avengers, that's a big part of the set, it's not just the Avengers. Some other people will be celebrating in the set. The Fantastic Four. Woo! Shield. Yeah. The street level heroes. Woo!
This is one of my favorite pieces of art. It's so good.
Yeah. And we're doing a wide variety of just beloved characters that are all sort of adventure adjacent, we'll call them. But one last story I want to tell. So when we first pitched to Marvel, Aaron came to me and said, I need you to make, I think I made 6 or 7 different cards, just a proof of concept. And he said, most of the cards are what you expect, Captain America, something like that, but I want one deep cut. And I knew the deep cut that I had made. I am obviously a giant fan of Marvel. I'm also a giant fan of Magic. And I knew there was a character that would be loved by both Marvel fans and Magic fans. And this character is not quite as deep cut as when I made this card 4 or 5 years ago. But coming in this set is... Squirrel Girl! Let's let it go! If you are a Marvel fan, of course you love Squirrel Girl, because she's amazing. But even if Marvel is maybe not your top thing, Marvel does such a great job of letting us make really fun and interesting cards. And if you have a Squirrel deck, I guarantee you're going to want to include Squirrel Girl. She is, I made her, the very card I made ended up in the set. I think it was like 1 or 2 in the rare poem. So anyway, if you love Squirrel Girl, we got a card for you. Amazing.
Well, let's hear it from Marvel superheroes again. Alright, now, if you're terminally online like me, you might have noticed earlier this week on our social media, we celebrated a very special birthday on
It's true.
When was the birthday?
I think it was a certain Hobbit's birthday. That's right, y'all. We are going back to Middle-earth. Magic the Gathering, The Hobbit is coming August 2026. You're going to get to journey with Bilbo, Thorin, Gandalf, all your favorite characters on their journey to the Lonely Mountain. You're welcome. So treasures, dragon boards, new and old await. We're not going to show you a whole lot for this set. We're going to show that in time. For now, we're going to keep our secrets safe. They are precious to us.
Woo! All right, continuing through the year, and to talk about our October release, this is an absolutely massive event set for the Magic Multiverse. Art's already here. We're going to keep you on, and then we're going to bring Matt and Roy. Roy again, everybody!
One more time!
So, Roy, talk to us about this magic story.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys brought me up here to talk about Lorwin, Strixhaven, and all of that. Not just because those sets are awesome and they're going to be so beloved by everyone in this room, but because they are steps leading up to this huge event set, which is itself the finale of a story we've been building for literally years. We've been calling it the Metronome Arc. Some of you, the most passionate among you might have heard that before, but we have been leading up to something really special. And to catch up the people who have missed an episode or two of the story, I'd love to just summarize where we started all the way back in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, previously in Magic the Gathering. We saw Jace having been traumatized by all of the suffering of the Phyrexian invasion. Jace set about doing a couple of nefarious deeds to right what he saw had gone wrong with the multiverse. How exactly he planned to do that was not entirely clear, but his mysterious plans started with freeing a small fuzzy creature with a map of the entire multiverse in his head from an ancient vault. That little guy you might recognize, he goes by the name of Luke. And bringing this little dude all the way to Tarkir, where he located the meditation realm to arrange a massive magical ritual. A ritual that went terribly wrong. The magic seemed to break Jace into pieces, consuming him and the meditation realm itself. So, where does that leave us? I'll tell you.
No, you won't.
Lurwin Eclipse. No. Into Secrets of Strixhaven. Into...
No.
No.
Yep. We're going to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Roy's gonna hold for a moment.
Okay, so a couple years ago on Magic's 30th anniversary at Gen Con, we talked about the upcoming sets. And the last set I talked about was codenamed Ziplining.
You can say that.
Remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the time, I wasn't allowed to say anything because it's so far in the future, and you know, it was the big capstone event set, like War of the Spark, like March 15. We were doing one of those. But now that we're actually, you know, it's coming closer now. It's next year. You know, so I think it'd be really cool, but this set has a really neat villain. I think it'd be really cool to tell you all who the villain is.
No.
No, you can't tell them that.
Not yet.
No.
Okay. It takes place in a place, like a really interesting place. Okay,
You can't tell them
Come
what
on.
No.
Oh, okay. It's a theme the players have been asking for a long time.
Nope, not that either.
Nope.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So before we do exploratory design, we do these things called seeds meetings, where we get together and we talk through what we think the set's going to be about. In this meeting, we pitched this idea, this really cool idea the players have been asking for. And Aaron Forsythe, my boss, a couple times today, Aaron said to me, look, I think that's a really cool idea. I agree the players will probably like that. I don't think we can do it. I don't think we can convey that to me in a super booster. So I took that as a challenge. And I said, okay, so in exploratory, we're like, how do we do this? And it was a really big challenge, and we came up with a really revolutionary idea that in fact was so revolutionary
That he cannot tell you.
I won't tell you what it is, but they didn't know we could do it. We didn't even know we could physically do it. And so we worked really hard, we worked through the vision, we handed off the set design, and I was nervous the whole time. We built the entire set around this innovation. I was worried that it would get cut in set design, but it didn't. And so this set has a really innovative thing, something you'll see that I can't tell you about. It'll be obviously the open the pack, something we've never done before, and it is, I led 2 sets this year. I led the Marvel set that I was very excited by, and I led Gift Mining. And I've not been this excited for an in-multiverse magic set in a long time. We are doing things I can't possibly talk about, but can I do anything?
Tell them the name.
Okay, the name.
The actual name.
The actual name of the set. You guys want to hear the name of the set? Okay. Later next year, you'll be able to experience Reality Fracture.
Cannot tell you what that
Okay.
It's really cool.
is. So cool. And we can't tell you about it. In fact, just so we don't accidentally spill anything, Roy and Mark are going to exit stage
come
right
on.
one more time. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Boy, that was a bust.
I was really great there for the spoiler.
We rehearsed that a few times, and I still thought we were going to go over the edge.
All
Okay.
right, hold on, getting situated, guys.
Looking at the graphic, you might have noticed there's still some space on the end there. So we do have one more release in 2026 to talk about. Yes, that does mean there are 7 sets in 2026.
7
It's a bit of
cents.
scheduling work. 2027, looking even further into the future, we're going to be on the 6th set, 3 Magic Multiverse and 3 Universe Beyond sets.
Yep. But we're going to be talking about the last release in 2026 first. So let's bring out Gavin Berry and play the video.
What's up, Gavin?
Star Trek.
Magic Gathering and Star Trek. A partnership years in the making, coming to you pretty soon. Exciting, right? Next year is Star Trek's 60th anniversary. You know, for years, we journeyed throughout space with Star Trek and launched all the way back in 1966. Whether you started with the original series, all the way up to where we are now with Strange New Worlds and beyond, it's inspired a bold legacy of exploration, creativity, and tough dilemmas. You know, for me, I grew up watching Star Trek, probably like many of you. My father, Steve, my mom, Teresa, sat me down and we watched these together, and it meant so much to me watching this show, and it really changed my life in so many ways. I made friends through it, I connected my family through it, and it inspired me to do what I'm doing today, making magic cards. So Star Trek really means a lot to me. We're coming to you with a full set of Star Trek, inspired by the whole franchise. Whether you love the original series, started with the Next Generation, or all the way up to the most recent stuff, with Strange New Worlds and beyond, we have things for you. Let's talk about some of the art we just saw and go on it a little bit more. So right here we have, of course, where it all began, the Starship Enterprise. Absolutely stunning, resting through space. She is beautiful. You'll find her and plenty of other starships. And of course, Star Trek would be nothing without heroes, villains, characters who are morally gray. But when it comes to heroes, I think of no one else than the one, the only, Captain. Of course, you'll find him in the set. You can see even the bridge crew there hanging out with him, which is absolutely fantastic. Are there any Klingon fans out there? Well, of course, some antagonists for you. We've got Chancellor Gowron right here, ready to lead on into battle. But you never know what you're going to find out in space. And to me, that is the beauty of Star Trek. It might be something stunning or dangerous, and quite often, both. see here on the crystalline entity. An absolutely stunning piece of artwork that is so gorgeous, but you really don't want to get too close to it either. This set will be coming to you in November of 2025. Working on it for a while.
26.
2026.
25?
Coming to you in November of 2026, and we are so stoked to bring it. We've been working on this thing for years. I got to be the lead designer of it. It means a lot to me, and the whole team behind it really cares a lot about this set and about Star Trek. So we'll be hearing a lot more in the next year, and a little bit, actually more than a year, as we talk about.
They announced Star Trek, and people are leaving.
But we can't wait to show it to you. You know, whether you are a fan who loves Star Trek already and cannot wait to see what favorite characters and moments represented in this set, well, you can start speculating for the next year. And if you're new to Star Trek, well, get to watching. There's a lot of incredible stuff to uncover in that show. So time told to go where no one has gone before. I'm going to sit back, relax, and say one more thing. Engage, warp speed.
And that, everyone, is the last set of 2026. Let's hear who's excited for 2026. Look at that lineup. All right, now, I'm sure you're now all thinking, Blake, Hillary, Kevin, where am I going to play all of these awesome magic cards? Our next video will give you a few options. Let's roll the next video.
This year's Open Tournaments return, reborn in the Magic Spotlight Series. First-time players tested their skills, and familiar faces from the past were back in action. The result has been a celebration of competition and community. We visited the likes of Atlanta for Magic Spotlight Foundations, Utrecht for Magic Spotlight Modern, and Cuba for Magic Spotlight Final Fantasy, with each event being special in its own way. At MagicCon Las Vegas, we said that the Magic Spotlight Series would be bigger and better than ever in 2026. Today, we're able to share our full schedule for next year, with a few secrets still left to be revealed. In the first quarter of the year, our journey begins in Atlanta, Georgia, and Lyon, France this January, kicking things off in style with Magic Spotlight, the Avatar. Next stop, we head north to Toronto, Canada in February, returning to one of our favorite planes with the Lurwin Eclipse. In the second quarter of the year, we move over to Richmond, Virginia in March, for a spotlight theme that's still under wraps right now, before we head across the Atlantic and beyond to London, England, and Chiba, Japan in May for our Secrets of Strixhaven Spotlight. As summer heats up, so does the adventure with a super team up for the ages. Marvel superheroes in Las Vegas, Nevada in June, then over to Brussels, Belgium in July. The journey continues down under in Brisbane, Australia in August, followed by a long hop over to Dallas, Texas in September for Magic Spotlight, The Hobbit. And to wrap up an incredible year, we'll be in Hartford, Connecticut in October and Beijing, China in November with Reality Fracture. Join us at a Magic Spotlight event near you. Play for fun, play to win, and be part of the gathering.
And I hope you didn't miss that. That first Spotlight series is right here in Atlanta. All right, now, talk a lot about 2026. And we aren't quite done with 2025 yet, as Final Fantasy was a set that delighted so many.
Here we go.
So we had to celebrate that a little bit. To help us do that, let's bring out Dylan Devaney and Daniel Holt to come out and
Hey guys.
well done. Hi everyone.
Right, so what are you guys here to talk to us about?
Well, first and foremost, we are here to celebrate the success that was
Final Fantasy.
You know, for us, this was the extreme labor of love. And it ended up turning into the fastest selling and best selling Magic set of all time.
Yeah, we printed it, more of it than any other set ever, and we're trying to get more reprints to you right now.
But most importantly for us, you all really enjoyed it. Cards, the characters, the gameplay,
The limited environment, the commander decks, and, you know, it was a real labor of love for all of us, so
from everyone who worked on Magic Gathering and Final Fantasy, we just wanted to say
thank you.
I hear a rumor that there's something about a holiday release.
yes, you're pretty well informed. We are here to talk about probably one of my favorite aspects of Final Fantasy is that it's never really the Final Fantasy, right? So, of course, here we are today to bring you more Final Fantasy. All right, so we're going to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about some promos, some seed boxes, some bundles, and more.
Yeah, and everything we show you is going to release on December 5th, and to answer your question, Hillary, we're kind of calling it the Final Fantasy holiday release, even though it's a bunch of different things all wrapped into one.
Yeah, so we're going to start us off with the holiday promo. Let's see that.
Yeah, my personal favorite game, Final Fantasy X. This was originally made for the pre-con itself, but Unit Grand Summoner in her iconic wedding dress of Babel with beautiful art by Miki Yamashita. You can also get this promo by playing in a Commander Box League to celebrate Final Fantasy returning to the Magic scene. These events will run from December 5th to December 11th. You can check Daily MTG for more details or your local game store.
And there's going to be more details on that later. Stay tuned for more details on how exactly to get this promo, and you'll be able to check the local game store as well.
Next thing I want to talk about is pretty cool. So we're bringing back seed boxes.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and see our very first seed box, starting with Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, each of these seed boxes, there are 4 of them, are 3x2 with 6 unique cards and 6 art cards to go with those, and 3 booster packs, all for $41.99. So yeah, Final Fantasy 1?
Yes, we're going to see 4 of them today. We're going to start with Final Fantasy 1. So here we can see the iconic first boss battle of the Final Fantasy franchise. The Warriors of Light versus Garland, the depths of the Chaos Shrine.
Yeah, and in that fight, Garland's after the throne, so his card mechanically uses the Monarch and will capture creatures momentarily. And when you think about Final Fantasy 1, you actually have a full party of characters that kind of work with the party mechanic in Magic. So I tied that in with the 4 characters there, and if you play the Destined Warrior as your commander, you can put all 4 in the same game.
Talk about the next game. The next game we're doing is we're going to talk all the way from Final Fantasy 1 to Final Fantasy 8. Hey, everyone. So, in Final Fantasy 8, we decided to recreate the very legendary, iconic intro cutscene of Final Fantasy 8, where we see Swamp versus Cypher. We have all the prophetic flashing over Wikipedia and Renoa of this amazing duel, hinting at all the story beats to come. And you know that we can all already hear the Bari Fatali blasting in the background, the chorus stamping up as this duel music climbs.
Yeah, so something I wanted to do with seed boxes was kind of like show another spotlight on these characters so that they get a chance in the main set. So at the top you see a new Idia and Renoa, who you just cannot picture the scene without. Naturally you have a new Squall and Cypher,
That's right.
Cypher at the bottom in their fight. And you get some pretty iconic spells there in the middle. I think are a little powerful.
All right, moving directly from Final Fantasy 8, you move to Final Fantasy 9. I know Gabby's really happy with all the 9 fans getting on for this as well. So, just to know about Final Fantasy 9, we're only just going to show you the archetype credit. 9.
So we're not going to show the cards today, but you might spot a little character at the bottom who did not get a card in the main set. Amaranth Coral is coming with his first legendary creature card.
We are depicting the siege of Alexandria in a way that we haven't seen before. So, Zidane and the party are delving through the chaos, trying to find Dagger and Aiko. We have Bahamut and Alexander battling the skyline, and probably the most epic cutscene any one of our PS1s could handle.
So I think we have one more to talk about?
Yes, and our final scene that we are going to show today is Final Fantasy 15. Oh, I'm So we've seen a lot of like epic boss battles and amazing action, but one of the things I love about 15 is that not just the boys are here to remind us to get back, relax, and enjoy some times with all our friends.
And that's what I wanted to do with the cards as well. So the focus is on, go fishing, take some photos, eat some food, train with Gladius. But I did make an Ignactus card because I wanted to play up his Warp Strike ability, which I really found fun playing Final Fantasy 15.
And that's what we have in Steam Boxes today. I hope you're all looking forward to it.
Now, our next item is super cool. When you think of two of the most popular things about this set, there's Final Fantasy VII, there's Commander decks. So why not make a special Final Fantasy VII Commander deck?
Okay, I'm really excited about this, and I'm going to be outfording it. So, for all the Final Fantasy VII fans out there, we are reprinting the Final Fantasy VII Commander deck, but it's going to come bundled with a digital redemption code for the original Final Fantasy VII. Whoa, right? It's going to be the...
No, Brian, they didn't.
On SquareEnix.com. And also, this is why I'm like vibrant in my chair, it's going to come with a promo of Cloud Midgar Mercenary from the main set with art from the original game. Look how cool this is! It's so sick, right? Okay, I'm validated. I'm so validated. It's really cool.
Players can find this in US stores on December 5th, as mentioned, as the limited edition Commander bundle for $99.99 while supplies last.
It is a limited edition.
Yes, thank you all for being here. Hit that like button if you can.
Yeah, there's the Chocobo bundle. This fun bundle includes 10 play boosters. We got Chocobo fans out here. But so much more, all themed around Chocobos and the good vibes they bring, including a little Chocobo spin wheel there.
In every bundle, you're going to find a couple of things that we wanted to talk about. So, there's going to be something called the Limited Chocobo Track Ball Treatment, which we're going to show you. It's going to be on 10 lands, and it's also going to be on 2 legendary creatures for a select pool of cards. And you're also going to get one of the Steam cards we just showed you in non-foil as well. The MSRP for the bundle is going for $109.99.
$109.99.
Some of these promos, but we have a few
MSRP.
today.
Yes, so the first thing we want to show you that's going to come with the bundle is the Paradise Chocobo. So now, normally only a very rare and special species of Chocobo can fly, and that is what we'll show you here for Final Fantasy 14. Flying through the Cloud Sea is our Birds of Paradise treatment, or better known as the Paradise Chocobo.
Yep. There's also 5 full art basic lands featuring Chocobos and that Eclipse treatment Dylan was talking about. Each bundle contains 40 lands. That's 15 regular, 15 foil, and 10 of these Chocobos.
You're going to see those Chocobo tracks going from the Chocobo Sanctuary, flying over to the Round Island, trudging through the Vesper Pool, exploring all over Duskmourn, and taking the rest finally in the Blackbeard Village.
So for the rest of these promos, a lot of them come from main set, but even more from the Commander decks, showing up in an amazing borderless treatment. So let's start by looking at Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, so if we're going to be talking about Chocobos, you know, also we have to talk about Moogles, obviously. So we've got our boy Locke here hanging out with all his Moogle buddies and mines, and we've got Mom dancing it up with his best friend / underling, Umar.
And then for Final Fantasy VII, we have members of the Midgar slums, relaxed and hopeful as they take a little break from battle.
Moving right along to Final Fantasy IX, we're going to share stories of adventure with Stiltskin, and we're all going to sneak into a showing of I Want to Be Your Canary and Puff.
And some more Final Fantasy X? Yes, please. The first 3 Guardians of Yuna here only got cards in the Commander deck, so this is their only booster fun treatment showing up here in this bundle, as well as the leading lady herself getting another treatment there.
And finally, what we're going to show you, this is all to the Final Fantasy 14 players out there. We've got the Taro and her fashionista Stormblood era. We have everyone's favorite Dragoon in his late night, date night, and walker car. And your eyes do not deceive, that is a reprint of Snapcaster Mage, who is going to be a scholar studying the ancient lore of the lost civilization Dim, alongside Chocobo Companion and Fairy Eos.
I don't want to start a stampede or anything, but pre-orders for all of this start today. Yay! Yay! So, check online for pre-orders for everything we just just talked about. So amazing. Final Fantasy's been just a fantastic set. Thank you, you two, for telling us all about the holiday release. And thank you all for coming to this panel and for being amazing.
Nothing about Avatar.
Stay tuned. After this, we have the secret layer reveal party panel. You're not going to want to miss that if you like new things.
Nothing about
And then,
Avatar.
of course, the main event. Game
That's what
Night Live follows that panel.
what they're all wanting
right
to know.
here on the Mana stage. Thank you, everyone, for the panelists.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, everyone.
They said you can check the website for pre-order information. And that's it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and make this public so you guys can rewind it, watch it, do whatever you want to do with it. Thank you for joining me. Hit that like button if you get an opportunity. Subscribe if you can. Swing by. We sell magic packs, play games on Tuesdays and Fridays. Unfortunately, in 2 months, I'll be back. I'll be getting my surgery soon, so thank you guys for swinging by. I appreciate it. Peace out. Twiddler out.